Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how I set up my new bullet journals for a new year or a new period of time. So I am no stranger to bullet journaling, creative journaling. It's been a very long run, and before I did these ones, I did do some in like, I should say like less hardy of a notebook before. So this is my current one, and you can see that like it's massive compared to the size of, this will be my new one for 2026. This one I actually started in, I think it was September 2024, and it's gone until December 2025. You could see here that I make little tabs for each month, and these are paper tabs, which I will not be doing again. In fact, I got these really cool, they're like laminated cardstock, so they're a lot more hardier sort of tabs, and I already put them in here. It was like a small business shop on Amazon, so I'm definitely going to link them in the comment because these are really cool, and it's like a little shop, so I want to support that. Yeah, so this is going to be my blank bullet journal for 2026. I think it's the Michael's version of the lectern. I think that's how it's pronounced. I usually put the label in here so I can remember what it was. Here it is, yeah. So you can see here I have a sticky note that says Bujo Notes, and I put the label that was on the back of the Bujo, on the back of the journal, into this so I can remember, just for a better comparison, so you could see like this size notebook, since this one's like much bigger. So this is a little bit of an unfair comparison. These all tend to get pretty wide over time. You can tell which ones are the actual lecterns. I believe it's these three, the slightly more yellow pages, and then this one was also like an artist loft from another year, probably 2022 if I started it there. But I think it was different because the bookmarks are different, so it might have been either they were doing them differently or it just got like a smaller one. This is actually like, this new one is like the least amount of pages that I've used in a bullet journal before, so that's kind of different. I'm keeping it to only 1 year, and usually I have a bunch of like notes pages afterwards, and this will be the first time where I don't have a ton of notes pages afterwards, and those will usually contain things like lists or like, who even knows? Okay, so let's get into it. I usually start my bujos the same way. I take post-it notes or sticky notes, and I kind of map out how I want my whole year to be in this bullet journal. So if you remember from previous videos, I have like a hello new month page, then a calendar, then monthly notes, and then a spread for each week. So in here, usually the first inside pages, I've been doing like vision boards. So go on Pinterest, make a vision board, print it out, paste it in, that sort of thing. So it's like really nice just to open up and see. We have some blank pages here. There's always a good chance that I either continue vision board or have some sort of notes or like calendars at a glance. I've done those before. And here we go. This page I have as bujo notes. These will specifically say like the number of dots on a page, the number of columns and rows that those dots create, like through a 2-page spread, stuff like that. If I have certain pens that behave differently, like on this paper versus a previous journal, I might make a note of that here. And then anything else that's like actually like related to the paper itself or to the pens itself or what I'll be using for this. And then a lot of these will usually have like a table of contents page printed out. I think the makers of these notebooks, the producers, the manufacturers have gotten, and the designers have gotten quite aware that people are using these kind of notebooks for bullet journaling specifically. So a lot of times they include this kind of like table to do your contents in, page number, whatever your content is. The lecterns are actually numbered. This one is not. So you have a few pages of those. I've done like at a glance in these too. So in my previous bullet journal, I had like the weekends listed out for the whole year. So if I had something that was going to happen like on a weekend, like a convention or a trip or something, I would just like match that up with the weekend. Because I don't create all of my spreads all at once, that would be incredible, but also a little insane. So I can do at a glance notes as we go, and I'll show you the other thing that I do to make a note for future months where I don't have the spread yet. So this is a page I like to include. It's like wins and accomplishments. So since this is going to be contained in 1 year, anytime I have like a win or an accomplishment that I'm proud at, whether that's like personal, professional, whatever, I like to list them here. They're really nice just to kind of like look back on, see progress that you've made, or like whenever you kind of go to like a darker place, it's a really good reminder. And then here I get a big post-it note, and I put one on each hello part like this, and you'll see I have a few other notes. But this is where if I say, like if I have an appointment in May, like a dentist appointment or something where you schedule it 6 months in advance, I can just write it on here, and then when I get to making that spread eventually, I can just reference my notes. It's pretty much the same throughout here. Let's go back to January. I got these smaller little sticky notes here, or I'll just cut up some of these and I'll kind of list out the pages. I'll have a calendar open in front of me and I'll make notes. I know this one's always going to be calendar. You can see I have my little January tab here, if it will focus. They're really cute. I got this pack in particular because they're pink, but they also have little seasonal iconography on them. So first page is always hello, or I should say first half page is always hello. This would also, for January especially, this would also be like if we didn't have this, or if I started on a second page, this would be a great spot for something that's like January related. So either bucket list or like ideas, or for January, like resolutions or goals for the year would be really good to put here to kind of like reference back. I'm going to do things a little differently in this bullet journal, so it's very likely that I'll actually do my January goals on it would be like the last page of January after the spreads, just because I'm working with a lot less pages in this one in particular. In February, maybe I would want something like winter bucket list, get ready for spring. Maybe March can also be something like a spring bucket list, something like that. Okay, so hello page, calendar page. This is where I do my monthly notes page. So I'll split this page in half, and I'll have my to-do items for the month, which are like usually a set cycle of items, like my finances, changing like filters for certain things, stuff like that, like your monthlies that don't really change month to month. And then the second half will be a shopping list. Usually I'll do like the shopping list a little smaller than the whole half of the page, because I don't think I shop for a lot of items, but it's like good, like, oh, I need to get air filters or something for my air purifier, like, and you could just like put this in here. Or we're gonna renovate the living room this month, so I'll put like curtains and like that sort of thing. So like not bigger purchases, but not like your typical like grocery shopping list. Then on this page will be like my monthly notes. So I'll leave like some blank space for the month itself, anything that I want to write down that will be important for the whole of the month, that will go here. And then in the past I've done habit tracking. I haven't been tracking very many habits recently because your girl has just been doing well in all my previous established habits. So if there's something that I'm trying to do every day, I will do a little habit tracker here, and that's where this will live. So after my monthly notes spreads, I start getting into the weeks, and when I have a new bullet journal, I always make sure I do this. So I count the weeks, like how many weeks I want to fit in to the month itself. And I write, like, for example, January is going to have 5 weeks total, so 5 weekly spreads. This helps me kind of budget out like the stickers I want to use or the designs I want to do or whatever, and just kind of like helps me keep track that way. And then I write the day that this week will start on and the day that this week will end on. So my calendar spreads that I would be doing here, they start Sunday and end Saturday. And then my weekly spreads, I have them start Monday and end on Sunday. So I have the weekend kind of together here in case I have any events that span like over 2 days. It makes a lot of sense for me, especially since I have like a work week to go through. And then for these spreads, you'll see in my other videos, I either do a horizontal or vertical spread, like where I have the days and notes, or the days and notes. So I do this for the entire bullet journal before I put any content in here, anything. So you'll see if I flip through these, I have week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, and then we go on to the next month. So something else that I do occasionally is I'll include notes for what I want to put in here. So for example, February 2026, I'm reminding myself that, hey, I still have some leftover Valentine's Day stickers. I still have some leftover Artem from Tears of Thamus stickers. I have this beautiful heart locket, washi tape, and purple and pink stickers to use. And so this is like kind of the theming that I want to do for this month. So this is a reminder to myself to, hey, check your sticker book for these, or check your like my happy planner, create your own sticker book for these, so I know to use them. So cute, the little hearts. And then these are for notes. I think that's about it for as far as like spreads go. You'll see here, like same thing, the notes. This time I'll like a cut up little piece of that ramen sticky note, and I'll do that for the whole bullet journal. And then once I get to the end of all my weekly spreads and all the months, will transition completely into notes. This is what I'm going to be working with at the end, versus like my previous periods bullet journal, which just has a ton of pages, and I have a ton of pages left over too. So it looks like I put a note for myself here that I'll do like next year at a glance, and doc grid calendars. So those little like monthly calendars, I'll put those here. I made a note to myself in my last bullet journal that putting these little kind of calendars, these little tiny at a glance, should go on a doc grid and not just a freeform, because they're very sloppy. I always include a reading log. I like to read as a hobby, so I'll record my books in here. Probably just to, since it's 1 year, I'll have one. And I've done some pretty creative ones in the past. Writing log for when I write. Commission log for when I work on commissions. So like who commissioned it, how much, and what stage I'm in, checked off. It looks like that's all that I included for this one so far. I'll usually leave a note of one at the end of the old bullet journal when I want to have like what worked and what didn't, that sort of thing. And that's also a really good note that I could put into my like bujo notes page, like what might I want to include that I haven't like put a sticky note in. So yeah, that's that. My bullet journal will soon be adorned with stickers that I collect over time, going to conventions and tournaments and stuff like that. I love these tabs. I'm really excited to see how these hold up. Already getting a little bit, but like so far it's been really good. So my next video, I'll do the January spreads in here. You'll see how I do that. I think it'll be a longer form sort of bujo with me, maybe with some royalty-free relaxing music. We'll see how you all enjoy that. But yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more, who knows what I do anymore, creative pursuits, gaming, yeah. All right, bye.